Hey guys, Lou here. I want to share my story with you so that you can see I'm not just another coach who tells you how to do something and hasn't been through it themselves. I've very much been through the process you're about to go through. I say to many of the women, I went through a pretty tough time as a mum before I got to the point where I could really transform my body back. So sometimes I've probably been through just as much, if not worse. I probably will get a bit emotional going through this video, however, it makes it relatable and hopefully some of you can relate to what I'm saying. So before I had our little guy, I was actually, as well as doing a bit of coaching, I was also a dance studio owner, so I was pretty fit, so I was in the gym, looked pretty amazing. My husband's a coach as well. He wasn't a dance coach though, he was just a fitness coach. Very highly motivated person. It was a massive thing for me to get pregnant because I knew my body was going to completely change. I was super confident at that time because I looked amazing, and I must admit, when I got pregnant, I thought, how is this going to feel? How am I going to feel when my body starts to change shape? I had a pretty bad pregnancy from the beginning. I had hyperemesis, I was always on the drip. And I must say that really did affect me, and I'm sure some of you have been through that, and it really did give me some feelings of inadequacy as a mum. I cannot carry my baby normally like the majority of women, and I think really that's where my troubles started. However, I loved being pregnant despite that. People always laugh when I say that. I was very lucky to be pregnant in the first place, so I never moaned about it, and actually I still trained all the way through despite being so ill. I really did fight back so that I didn't give in at that point, so that fight was still there. Had my little guy, who, as all you mums will know, I fell immediately in love with. What I didn't know was the depression, the emotions coming on, that was about to follow. I didn't get depressed because I didn't want him. I got depressed because I couldn't let him go. So I was faced with this body that I hadn't had before, and in the beginning it didn't really bother me. So let's say maybe the first 6 months it didn't really bother me. I was too focused on feeding. I had a lot of problems with feeding, but being that determined person that I was back then, I wasn't giving up with my feeding. I absolutely loved being a mum. I knew I would be. I absolutely love kids. And for that first 6 months, even though I didn't really like the skin I was in, it didn't really bother me. It didn't really bother me. But even with regards to my husband, it didn't bother me because we were focused on this little guy who needed us more. As it goes, you get the usual pressures of family, of what you should do, what you shouldn't do, who can have him, who can't have him, and I just wasn't ready to let him go. And probably a good, setting into a good year after I had him, I think I was struggling before that, but a good year after I had him, it really started to kick in. And I realised all of a sudden I had no confidence. I had this baby who I just could not let go, and had this body which I hated. I always say to the ladies I work with, what was tougher was being married to a coach as well who was helping other women look amazing. It was a massive, massive pressure. It didn't really matter what he said, it would make any difference. I did start training initially when he was quite small, at home. And then my husband's like, let's go to the gym, we can have a bit of time ourselves. And I think I lasted maybe a month or so, and I was just feeling too guilty. So I pretty much self-sabotaged myself and my marriage because of the guilt that I went through. And on top of that, this body which I hated, so I didn't feel attractive, I didn't feel confident, and to be honest, I started even feeling like I wasn't a good mum because of how I was feeling, especially when I got older. And had other stresses in my life. I decided at that point I no longer wanted to have my dance studio, which was my identity before we had lost him. And it really got me to the point where I was at breaking point. To the point where I didn't want to be here, I didn't think I deserved to be a mum, I didn't think I deserved to be a wife. And to be blatantly honest, even at that point, my husband tried to help me, and he really did break up our marriage, and it's something that still kind of affects me a little bit today. You must be thinking, gosh, that's a lot. How on earth do you go from that to making a huge change? And here's what made the change for me, and it's something that I struggle with still to even say. My little guy and me were very connected, and he said, Mummy, Why are you always sad? And even at this point, that makes me feel terrible as a mum. And that was the kick-up yes I needed to make a massive change. And that would have been about November, December 15. And when he said it more than once, I thought, gosh, I really need to make some changes here. I was in a really bad place, and as some of you know, I'm also a big lover of psychotherapy, so I was very aware of how it was going to affect him. So come the new year, we were actually opening a new facility, a new coaching facility. My husband had been desperate for me to get back into coaching and help mums. But because I was so unconfident, I just refused. I couldn't do it, and I'm a big believer in practicing what you preach. There was no way I was going to help other mums and other women unless I was in shape. How can I tell someone, you need to do this, if I wasn't in that place myself? So I got myself into it gradually for the first kind of month, got used to things, even found myself that I'd gone from pre-Lawson being super fit. So there was things I just couldn't do the way I could do before. And it was bloody frustrating. And in the beginning, I must admit, I didn't have that belief in myself anymore. I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to change the shape of my body. All these other women look amazing, and I don't. I actually made a video diary of my journey from that point. And to be blatantly honest, you probably won't believe the difference, because now I'm in that great place. Now I know I look amazing. I have people coming to me every day and saying, how can I change myself from where you were to where I was? And looking at my photos even now, I wasn't in a massively out of shape place, but I was for me. And that's something that you need to realise, that other people might be saying you look amazing and you don't feel amazing. It's what's good for you. I am by far not finished yet. I've still got bits that I want to change and bits I want to tone up, but I'm back into that focused mindset. And I think what's driving me forward, one is my family, who I love to bits. We're very close. And when I say my family, I mean my husband and my little boy, who very much live this lifestyle. And two is the fact that you ladies who are here, who have been through this, and some of you might have not been through such a horrid time like what I went through. However, we've all been through something. We've all been through that change in the body that we don't like, otherwise we wouldn't be here. So it's just really I wanted to tell you my story so you can see that this is a real life story, and it's a real life person who's been there and done it. And yeah, it was tough. It was really tough getting myself back to that level of fitness and training, back to that, when I train, I really grit my teeth and I really get on with it, and if you say I can't do something, I'm going to do it 10 times better. That's that person that was before Lawson. That was that person who nobody was beating me in the gym. And I'm back to that now. I still got stuff I'm working on, but I'm working on it in a healthy place, and most importantly, there's a smile on my face. My first goal was to be able to stand in a sports bra again. I lived in a sports bra for my little guy, and I can do that now. My next goal is to really start toning the rest of my body up, and I'm still working on that, but I'm not in a race. And that's something I want to share with you as well, is when I started training originally, I stopped, and probably the summer before I had the kind of almost breakdown, I started training from home, and I was in this race. I was in this race to be a good mum, to be a good wife, to make sure the house was spotless, to make sure I had these businesses running really well, but I was most importantly, I was in this race to change my body, because I had it in my head I wasn't attractive anymore, and that the pressure that built because of all the people around me. And I want to say to you, it's not a race. You need to take your time with it. You need to do it at a pace that suits you, and I'm glad I got back in, and I'm glad I made the changes I made. And I'm not one for talking about regrets. The only regret I have is that I didn't kick myself up the butt sooner, and that my little boy even had to say, "Mummy, why are you sad?" But anyway, there's a smile on my face now. Hopefully this video has helped you. Feel free to contact me about it. Let me know your thoughts about it. Let me know if that's where you are. But most importantly, I want you to know I'm 100% here for you throughout the whole journey. See you later.